Pirate software will go down in history as one of the most spectacular downfalls the internet has ever seen. His Twitch viewership is a third of what it used to be, he's losing tens of thousands of subscribers on YouTube every day, and worst of all, he's become the lolcow of the internet, with millions of people raking him over the coals for everything he says or does. And at this point, he has no one to blame but himself.
I cannot believe his ego. His ego is so—
Oh man, if Penguin Z reacted to him, he's cooked, bro.
out of control. I feel like he's only a week or two away from exclusively referring to himself in third person, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that's the truth, cause Pirate Software said so. Like that. It's crazy.
He could have avoided this entire controversy with just 3 words: I was wrong. But his ego and arrogance got in the way of him admitting fault, turning him from a beloved and respected figure to one of the most hated personalities on the internet.
Damn, they really made this dude look chopped as hell, bro. Why'd they do that?
Taking a look at the deserved downfall of
Go subscribe to not Pirate Software, InternetAnarchist, bro. Don't subscribe to Pirate Software, unsubscribe from him.
Pirate Software, his monumental fall from grace, and how, even after losing everything, he's continuing to make the situation worse for himself.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hope that your initiative gets everything you asked for, but nothing you wanted.
However, to fully grasp why the internet is so mad at Pirate Software, we have to understand what made him popular in the first place. Jason Hall, better known as—
I remember this back in the day, bro. Like a year or two ago, he always made these shorts and they were like so good type shit. But now I don't see him anymore. I don't know why.
As Thor originally started his career back in 2004 as a game developer for Blizzard, the company that made titles like World of Warcraft and Overwatch. After leaving his job at Blizzard, he worked at Amazon Studio for a while, before quitting from there as well and becoming a hacker for the US government.
So after that, I ended up going to work for the United States Department of Energy because I'm a hacker, offensive security guy. And
I don't think he mentioned how at Blizzard he was working, but his dad is actually like the main guy that works on all the animations at Blizzard. So he's like a top guy, bro. That's some nepotism type shit.
and I hacked power plants for the federal government.
But after a year of doing his job, he resigned from there as well.
Not to discredit his hard work, though. I'm just saying, you know.
Well, and started working full-time on his indie game RPG named Heartbound in 2017. He also started doing daily live streams under the name of his studio, Pirate Software, showcasing his game development process on Twitch. However, while Heartbound saw some success in its early days, even getting played by Jacksepticeye at one point, he was still relatively unknown on the internet. But then, in 2022, he made a small decision that would end up changing his life forever. On January 17th, 2022, Thor posted his first short video on YouTube titled Imposter Syndrome. It was a clip
like I said earlier, those shorts, bro. The shorts went crazy for this guy.
From one of his Twitch streams where he gave valuable advice to an inexperienced developer.
I don't wish to fail myself because I'm terrified of actually releasing something to the world I've worked on for over 3 years. Dear God, I am so terrified.
Hey Thornstar, that feeling never goes away. It never does. I am constantly afraid to release every single piece of content I ever work on this game. I am constantly afraid to get onto stream and like not be, you know, whatever it is that people expect me to be.
Real shit though, if you worked on something for 3 years and you don't release it, it's like you just like wasted like the last 3 years of your life. You should be like slowly releasing your games, like talking about them, doing devlogs like ever since the beginning, so you can get some traction, and like when you release it, you can actually get like money and actual people like playing your game. Because if you don't do that, like bro, like once you if it's like already done and you start marketing it, nobody, like it might be like the worst game of all time and no one's gonna play it. So you always have to like make sure that you validate the idea at the beginning, bro.
I am constantly afraid that I'm going to create content that no one wants to hang out with, that no one wants to look at, no one wants to care about, and that's just how that is.
Type literally like all the content I made, bro, I'm like, oh shit, is this gonna do well or not?
The thing is
bro.
You can't stop. You shouldn't stop.
This ended up being a bigger success than he could have ever imagined, amassing over 850,000 views to date. More importantly, this short became a fantastic first impression for all these new viewers, who now saw him as someone exceptionally wise and intelligent. After Seeing the potential of short-form content, Thor went all in on this new format and started posting shorts almost daily. And it wasn't long before they were picked up by the YouTube algorithm. As a result, Thor became a regular presence on the YouTube homepage for anyone even slightly interested in game development, bringing in millions of new viewers almost overnight. People also loved almost—
I wasn't even I didn't even want to do game development that much, but like, he was always in my feed, and it was like always like different topics, all like philosophical and all that type of shit. So it's not like just like game dev. It's like just like general like positivity content, I felt like.
Everything about his content, from his behind-the-curtain knowledge of game development.
Most publishers want 30 to 70% of your income from your game. 30 to 70%. Some of them want 100% upfront until they recoup their costs of marketing your game.
And random tips and tricks.
Take your mouse and you put your mouse inside of MS Paint. And
yeah,
then
like I said, like the random tips that are actually useful.
you hold spacebar, and then you use the arrow keys, you can draw like an Etch-a-Sketch.
To his odd and often amusing opinions.
They mixed Dr. Pepper and beans. They taste like Dr.
What
Pepper?
the
Hell yeah, they
hell,
do.
bruh?
And they're amazing.
What the? Bro, amazing? I did not expect him to say that.
As a fan comment under one of his first YouTube streams states, Thor, wow, first I've heard of you was yesterday from the shorts. You were everything I've been looking for in terms of knowledgeable game dev, storyteller, and straight up kind human. Keep it up, badass.
Badass. Really, bruv?
The popularity of his content on YouTube also translated into his Twitch viewership skyrocketing past any expectations he might have had. It reached a point where he broke the Twitch hype train record 4 different—
I guess that's really how you gotta get it on Twitch nowadays. You can't really get it any reach from Twitch itself, so you have to always be on other platforms.
times and gained over 80,000 paid subscribers on the platform. By 2024,
That's crazy, bro. That's literally like 200k plus a year. Or a month.
Thor's career had reached an all-time high.
Like,
Millions
that's after, you know, all the fees and shit. And like the split.
of fans eagerly consumed everything he released, and the vast majority held him in very high regard. As a thankful viewer puts it, this is the most motivating and helpful individual I've found in the game dev space. And that's saying quite a lot, as most devs are so helpful and encouraging. This man makes me feel like my dreams are within my grasp, and that's so rare to find. He was on track to become one of the legendary figures of online gaming, right alongside the likes of Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. But then,
I don't think he'd ever be as good as him, bro.
2025 rolled around, and a single live stream nearly shattered the trust and support Thor had spent years building.
I didn't play well. Other people in the group didn't play well. They pinned it on me. That's it. There was one of the players that was very vocal about saying it was all my fault, and then the rest of the community rallied around it. And now it's become a content play for people to pick at me, and that's kind of it.
It all started on January 12th, 2025, when Thor decided to stream a hardcore World of Warcraft raid with other streamers and veteran players. At one point during the raid, the situation became dire, and instead of helping his
I like how his name is Only Fangs, bruh. Come on, bruh.
teammates in any way, Thor decided to run away. This resulted in 2 other players' characters dying, which for those of you who aren't familiar with World of Warcraft hardcore, this means that those characters were now lost forever.
That's crazy, dude. If I was playing that, I would probably be cooked.
Players would have to grind the game
raid,
for weeks to get back to the same level again. But rather than admitting fault or even showing remorse, Thor decided to be arrogant about it and put all the blame on others.
Because you're angry right now. Of course I ran.
Don't be angry.
You overpulled 2 packs. You overpulled 2 packs and a boss. I had 1,400 mana left. I had to spend all of that mana to try and put it on Blizzard to save you guys in the first place, and nothing left. You weren't paying attention to party resources. You overpulled, and you weren't paying attention to where the boss was. That's not on me.
This showed the egotistical side of Thor that, admittedly, was already present in his content.
It's shit.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I get how like some people support him because like from what he said, it sounds like, oh shit, it's actually not his fault. But like in reality, like if you actually watch what happened, I think like, you know, InternetAnarchist was saying, it literally was his fault, like pretty much most of it. Or like at least if he helped, it wouldn't have been as bad, right? So it's just like just a stupid situation.
Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is a horrible goddamn direction.
But his fans didn't pay much attention to it, since till this point, Thor was seen as a passionate, talented developer who genuinely cared about the gaming community, so his occasional cockiness was written off as confidence rather than a red flag. However, even after getting called out by other streamers,
what the hell, man? Why not just apologize?
Like I said, huge pirate fan, love the content. This is not the look.
Thor did not budge, and even doubled down.
Wants me to sit down, grovel on my knees and be like, I'm so sorry, Mr. Yamato. It was all my fault, the mage. I won't do it again. I'm so sorry that tank overpulled 2 packs and a boss. Oh man, oh god. Next time I'll save you from the big mean 2 packs and a boss that tank pulled. Like, are you kidding me, dude?
This incident put his behavior in.
He seems a little selfish, at least. Like, you're not gonna go help them out, so you're just like, oh shit, yeah, this is not my fault, bro. My character in this game is so important, bro.
To a completely different light. While this controversy faded away in a few weeks, it formed the first crack in Thor's impeccable online reputation, and it's only been downhill from there. But to fully understand the controversy that's killing Thor's career, we have to go back in time to the end of 2023. On December 14th, 2023, Ubisoft announced that it would be shutting down the servers for its multiplayer racing game called The Crew in April of 2024. However, unlike many other multiplayer games, where an internet connection is only needed for playing against others online, The Crew required players to be online at all times. In other words,
this stuff is so stupid. I guess it's mostly for like piracy reasons, but like I feel like if they're gonna pirate it, they can figure out a solution to avoid that with like their own server or like whatever. So it's kind of stupid.
Ubisoft shutting down the servers meant that players would no longer be able to access the game they paid for. This also meant losing access to the game's single-player campaign, which should have been fully offline. This sparked intense online backlash, as players—
Yeah, that's like the worst, dude. Like that's there should definitely be something against that stuff.
Felt like they were being robbed of the game they paid for with their hard-earned money. What made the situation even worse was that this wasn't the first game to shut down like this, and it was clear it wouldn't be the last. So to fight back against greedy publishers, Ross from Accursed Farms spent months creating a potential solution.
But now we have a new option, proposing new law, and for the entire European Union.
Hey, yeah, this guy. I like this guy, man.
It took months to get put together and processed, but now we have a European Citizens Initiative devoted to halting the destruction of video games. You can read it yourself. This would require publishers to leave games they have sold to customers in a working state at the time of shutdown, without requiring any further connection to them or affiliated parties for the games to function.
This solution took the form of a petition, which, unlike the largely useless Change.org petitions, had actual legal weight. If this petition reached 1 million signatures, lawmakers in the EU were legally required to discuss the matter in an official setting, and
that's really cool that the EU has that as like an initiative, so that, you know, like the people of the EU actually have like a voice and they can like push stuff through, not just through their representatives. But I think 1 million is like insanely high. I feel like it should still be like a somewhat high number, but like this crazy high, like 1 million, I feel like maybe like 500K would be more reasonable.
If passed, this new law would require game makers to ensure that their games are still playable after they stop supporting them.
We're just trying to stop games from being destroyed. That's it. So we're taking as narrow an approach as possible that still solves the problem. If we get enough signatures, then this goes before the European Union to be considered as new law.
This would be a net positive outcome for gamers around the world. Unfortunately, this initiative had one major weakness right from the get-go, and that was Ross's reach. You see, his subscriber count was just 1/3 of the number of signatures needed to make this a success. And since he's based in the US, most of these subs weren't eligible EU citizens either. So to counteract this weakness, Ross—
It's so crazy that like even Americans have to go through like the EU like legal system. Like we have to do that just to get any change, because like if companies make a change in the EU, they'll actually just apply it to the rest of the world. But like, why do we have to go through all of that just to like have companies stop being so greedy? Like it's so annoying and it's like such a problem.
Pulled out other creators and asked them to spread the word about this initiative. He even made himself available for any interviews or follow-up discussions.
If you're watching this, you may be a critical link in all this. because you can tell other YouTubers, streamers, etc. about this initiative, and maybe they'll pick it up. Now, I'm offering myself for interviews, publicity on this issue, whatever, to almost anyone with a European audience of some size.
And that's where Thor entered the picture. He came across the Stop Killing Games initiative in August of 2024. Now, given his history of speaking in favor of the gamers and developers, and against greedy publishers, people naturally expected him to throw his full support behind the campaign. However, this couldn't have been further from the truth.
Now, this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is it. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
Not only did
It's crazy how he like didn't even say like why. Like I'm pretty sure like from the original clips, he didn't even say why like until like later in an explanation video. But like, come on, bro, you're just gonna say that without explaining why? Like,
he disliked the idea of Stop Killing Games, his choice of words was harsh to say the least.
That is awful. That is a horrible direction. That's awful, dude. No, eat my entire head. The level of stupid that I just had to receive was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This sucks. That's a really stupid move. That's an incredibly stupid move. I think this is complete garbage. All of this can eat then. I dropped the mask entirely. I have no qualms
I guess he really did drop the mask because he's getting cooked now.
about that. They can eat my entire...
This was a shock to many of his viewers, so Thor published 2 full videos to clarify his point of view further. And while these videos saw plenty of pushback from fans who were flabbergasted by his decision to oppose what they saw as something good, it ultimately resulted in the Stop Killing Games movement receiving significantly less support than it would have if Thor supported it as well. You have to remember that this was all before the World of Warcraft hardcore fiasco. Back then, the broader gaming community still viewed Thor as a beacon of insight and authority in game development. Ross tried to combat the negative reception by publishing a FAQ video to clear any misconceptions about Stop Killing Games.
Crazy how just one goofy like stream clip literally destroyed the entire movement, which could have been beneficial to like so many people.
Unfortunately, this wasn't as effective as he would have liked, resulting in Stop Killing Games losing all momentum and essentially becoming dead on arrival. For the next 10 months, it looked like, despite Ross's good intentions, his initiative was doomed to fail spectacularly. But
Respect to this dude Ross for like working on this for literally like months and months and months, just for something that he believes is like right. You know, I really respect him for doing that.
then he did something that no one saw coming. On June 22nd, 2025, Ross uploaded an hour-long video titled "The End of Stop Killing Games," talking about the disappointing state of the petition.
The European Citizens Initiative failing kind of stings. Again, this one is crazy powerful, but the hurdle we just couldn't get past was that it requires 1 million signatures from citizens of EU countries. And we've only made it just under halfway.
And after thanking many of the creators that voiced their support for their campaign, he shifted his focus towards the elephant in the room, the one creator whose coverage was straight up poisonous for the initiative, Thor.
This video came out right as we were building momentum, then except for one boost in Germany, the signatures started drying up like clock.
Bro goes by Thor just because that's his middle name and it sounds the coolest. Like, come on, bro.
Ross also revealed why he didn't make a direct response to Thor until now.
This put me in kind of a no-win scenario too. Because if I ignored it, then a lot of people are gonna get misinformed about the campaign. But if I did a response video, which is not something I wanted to do anyway, then it might look like drama farming, which could understandably turn off a lot of people from the campaign, because it's not about that at all. So I quickly made this video trying to clear up all misconceptions and concerns about the initiative, with timestamps for everyone's questions, hoping the truth would eventually come out. I can see now that was a mistake. I should have just embraced the drama.
I like that he tried to stay away from drama to like make sure that the movement was seen in more positive light. But like sometimes you just gotta like farm the drama, bro. Like that gets the most attention, and that could have really helped the movement pick up more steam, get more view. Like, you know, they say all publicity is good publicity. I don't think that's necessarily true, but like for this case, I think it would have helped him for sure.
This point, Stop Killing Games was already on track to be a failure, so this video was one last push from Ross to make a difference. Surprisingly, this worked better than anyone could have ever expected, and one big reason for that was what Ross revealed about Thor, because as it turned out, Thor misunderstood and misrepresented the whole thing.
If you try to tell me that every studio needs to run their live service game indefinitely or not want to run one at all, then no one's going to run them.
Oh no! He wheeled out that line about publishers having to support the game forever. He was literally watching the video earlier where it says it won't do that in big letters. That wasn't
Bruh,
enough.
this guy does not even watch the video that he's accusing of being horrible. Like, come on, bro.
We just can't stop gamers from going there, even when we spell it out.
And Ross was having none of it.
This part hurts. To see the biggest voice on this issue get it wrong again and again and again, then put that same wrong information on blast to a far bigger audience than we can reach. It hurts. He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand what we're asking for.
He even called out the clear contradiction Thor made in his own argument just seconds apart.
I think live service games getting sunsetted is fine. I've always thought that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I have no problems with the end of a video game.
See, I wish he started his big YouTube video with that message instead of deleting it. Instead, he presented himself as pro-preservation and not wanting the medium to die out.
It's incredibly important to me that we keep making games and that the next generation has the tools to do so that our medium doesn't die out.
So he really just cut the video to remove the part which also makes him look less good, and only kept like the part which makes him look better. And this guy's like so like egotistical and like manipulative for his fans. Like, it's crazy, dude.
Never will. That's the whole intention of all this.
So he doesn't want games to die out, except he's fine with that. I think there's some cognitive dissonance going on here.
This video showed that Thor's distaste for the Stop Killing Games initiative is based on complete misinterpretations, which in turn called his credibility as an experienced and knowledgeable developer in question. However, before Thor had even a chance to respond, Ross's new video reached the one man who could bring this issue to a mainstream audience.
I don't really know how this guy's like known as like such a great developer. Like, obviously he gives like good tips and like good motivation, but his only game, like, I don't even think it was like that big. And I've seen like videos of people talking about his code that they went through, and apparently the code is not good at all. Like, I don't know, man.
Yes, Charlie.
And there is an initiative that has been aiming to...
Let's go, bro. Internet Anarchist always brings out the Charlie, bro. He's got to have voice critical in like every damn video.
Fight back against a lot of these practices that I think really need some big overhaul. Stop destroying things that people have paid money to own. I think that is a very understandable, very reasonable take, very agreeable.
And he called out Thor's incorrect interpretation of the initiative as well.
He didn't even get the Cliff Notes summary right. He missed all the QTEs and got the bad ending on understanding the initiative from the jump here. Ross is correct. This has nothing to do with just single-player only games that require an online connection, that when the online connection is severed, you lose access to the game. Like, yeah, that is included in all of this, but that's not, like, what the whole movement is about. And for some reason, Pirate Software is stun-locked on that, like, fixated, as if that is the actual, like, meat and potatoes of Stop Killing Games. They need to be more specific in their language about it being single-player, always online connectivity games. When that's just not what it's about. Like, they're not being specific about that because that is not what they are specifically targeting.
This video from Charlie was a godsend for Stop Killing Games, as it exposed the idea to over 3.4 million people. More
Penguin Z, always doing the good shit, man.
importantly, it highlighted Thor's flawed take and the damage it did to an otherwise positive movement. Following Charlie's video, several other creators also came forwards with their support for the initiative, including Jacksepticeye, The Actman, PewDiePie, and many more. The story was also picked up by countless commentary YouTubers, resulting in Thor once again.
It's nice how, you know, like once the ball gets rolling with like one big creator, all the other ones just follow them and they all support something.
receiving pushback for his
It's
opposition
nice, but
of
it's
stop
also
killing
kind of
games.
like, it's also kind of crazy. It's like, okay, you need someone else to always be like the leader. It's like, okay.
But unlike last time, where it sort of fizzled out within weeks, the backlash wasn't showing any signs of slowing down. He started losing subscribers and followers across all platforms, and everything he did online got flooded with dislikes and angry comments, like, essentially, you will own nothing and be happy. I reject that. Achievement unlocked, being wrong on all levels. Many of these commenters were even his own loyal fans, who now saw him as a corporate shill more than a genuinely well.
Imagine if they got like the guy that commented you're like a badass at the beginning. They got him to like, they found his comment where he said he was like opposing pirate software. That'd be so funny.
Intentioned developer. As a casual follower ever since the beta release of Heartbound, this is extremely disappointing to watch. The backlash was so overwhelming that it seemed like nothing he said could soften the blow or calm the outrage. However, that's not true. He still had a chance to retain some of the trust his viewers had put in him. All he had to do was admit fault, apologize, and support the Stop Killing Games initiative. But knowing Thor, that was never going to happen. Just as he did after the hardcore World of Warcraft incident, Thor decided to double down here as well and stick to his stance, regardless of how wrong he was, stating, "For those that will scream his doubling down, yes, I am. I give about this initiative and what it means for games, developers, and players in the future." Near the end of this tweet, he also stated, "Just because I don't support this doesn't mean you should blindly follow me in that. Just because I said pretty words on the internet, you also shouldn't blindly bash me because..."
I mean, you literally kind of told them to blindly follow you and not supporting this. And you know that most people are not going to really put research into it. Like they found you who they trust, so they're just going to believe you. They're not going to go and like find other resources, other information, and make their own opinions. Like, that's a problem. Yeah, we know that, but like still you have like some sort of responsibility, because like, I know you're not stupid enough to really think that people are all of your viewers are actually going to go and like do their own research.
Raider said to watch the videos I put out, read the initiative, decide for yourself, apply critical thinking, and don't outsource it to others. Completely disregarding the responsibility he had as a creator that millions looked up to at one point. Not to mention, this also went against what he said in his initial reaction.
This is it's
yeah, see, it was literally like a hypocrisy, bro. Crazy.
Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to.
This attitude only angered the internet more, forcing him to step away from off-brand games, the game studio Ludwig founded with his friends. However, Thor couldn't help but turn this into a source of embarrassment as well. You see, he announced his leave in a tweet, reading, "I'm no longer working at off-brand games. People were attacking all of the games we were publishing and trying to mass review bomb them. You can dislike the things I say, but this kind of behavior is unhinged." But when people checked the games published by off-brand games, they didn't find a noticeable uptick in
Bruh, this guy really thought that people couldn't easily find the receipts? Like, come on, dude. How many times do YouTubers do this shit?
Negative reviews. In other words, Thor straight up lied about his reasoning for leaving the studio. He could have simply been honest.
He's just trying to like push it onto the viewers when really it's just his own dumbass fault. Like, come on.
And
dude.
admitted that he was stepping away to prevent any backlash from hitting the studio, which had nothing to do with his personal opinions. But his ego wouldn't let him. Instead, he chose to lie.
This guy got the biggest ego of all time, bro.
And ended up getting caught red-handed. That said, all the hate towards Thor did have the positive effect of making the Stop Killing Games movement go viral. This has resulted in it not only reaching its goal within days, but shooting past it with over 200,000 more at the time of writing.
Now it's 400,000. That's crazy. The guy that created it, he should have went into the drama and all this type of shit. Like, even though it might not be the thing that you want to relate the movement to, getting the views, the eyes on it is what you need. And the people who want to actually support it, they'll find it this way. You want to be able to push this message out in almost any means necessary.
Thor, however, still cannot admit defeat. After the petition reached its goal, he made a tweet that contained a mixture of denial and boasting at the same time, stating, "The most interesting narrative is that my video somehow killed the initiative. This graph showed that the initiative already had a downward trend in interest when my videos dropped. My videos do not seem to have had any impact on the movement at all. Making me the villain did though. best of luck with your next steps. And as expected from him at this point, he was completely wrong once again. The graph he shared showed the lifetime signatures for the petition. If we zoom into the first 2 months instead, we can clearly see the momentum fall off a cliff the second Thor reacted to stop killing games on his stream. As for his line,
This guy really thought they wouldn't find the receipts 2 times in a row, dude. Holy shit, this guy, bro.
about becoming the quote villain, Charlie had some necessary feedback on that.
I cannot believe his ego. His ego is so out of control, I feel like he's only a week or 2 away from exclusively referring to himself in third person, like stone cold fucking Steve Austin. And that's the truth, cause Pirate Software said so. Some like that. It's crazy how he's responded. The smugness is nails on a chalkboard. It just makes you feel icky listening to it.
Even when he's trying to back down, he can't help but create more drama.
I have been called a zoo, corporate plant, degenerate, narcissist, nepo baby, and many other names. And they attacked all the accomplishments over my life, despite physical evidence to prove to the contrary. And they also went after every job I ever held, trying to say that I never worked them, or if I did work them, that I...
Bro, acting like every single person on the entire planet was saying this shit. Like, bro, it's maybe like 5 people said this, and now he's like, bro, they're all calling me like the worst things imaginable and saying that all the shit that I did was useless. Like, bro, it's like 5 people, bro. You have millions of viewers or something. Like, come on, dude.
Never deserved them. So I'm going to be honest with you. I hope that your initiative gets everything you asked for, but nothing you wanted.
Effectively saying that what Stop Killing Games is asking for is not what gamers want, and somehow he's the only one who knows this, which
I am the only one who knows that, bro. Is not Thanos, bro.
makes sense when you consider the fact that even
Actually,
Dr.
he might be
K,
Thanos,
a trained psychologist, recognized Thor as a highly arrogant person.
I think sometimes the things that I talk about in regards to those types of things is misconstrued as arrogance or boasting, when in reality, I'm just trying to give context.
So that is the problem right there. So I want you to listen to this phrase.
Sure.
This gets misconstrued as arrogance, but in reality, it's this.
Yeah.
That is the most arrogant statement on the planet, bro. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. I don't see it that way, but all right.
At the end of the day, Thor is simply
Yeah, in this video, like with Dr. K, I'm pretty sure, bro, he's like, you have narcissistic tendencies, all this kind of shit, and he like did not want to accept that, and he's like, nah, bro, that's not me, bro. I'm not egotistical at all. I'm not a narcissist.
too far
even,
gone.
Even if a doctor is telling you that and you don't believe him, like, okay, bro.
He had months to set things right, but he didn't, because in his mind, he could never be wrong. Now, that egotistical viewpoint has become the reason for his disastrous yet deserved downfall, leaving him
I stopped watching him after, like, I heard about this Dr. K shit. Like, bro, this guy, oh my god.
with 2 options for the future. He can still admit that he was wrong and apologize. This wouldn't stop the backlash anytime soon, but some people will recognize his attempt to correct his mistake and start supporting him again, allowing him to eventually build a solid fan base.
If he does it now, it's just like
Once
fake
again.
as hell, bro. It's like fake. It's bullshit. Like, there's no way that anybody's gonna believe that shit. Like,
Or he can continue down the path he's already going, stay firm on his stance, and eventually turn into the perpetual lolcow of the internet, where the only time someone remembers him is to make fun of him. Of course, he could also try to make a comeback in the future and fail miserably, just like the Liver King. Click the video.
guy, he needs to really learn, like, do some introspection about his ego, his like narcissistic like personality traits, stuff like that, and like I think he could change with like a little bit of work, or not a little, but maybe a lot of work. But yeah, so that's gonna be the end of today's video. If you want more of this, like leave a like and subscribe so you can like see more like cool content reactions with my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Yep. See you guys.